of our BrightHive, focusing on the power of BrightAgent, the super data agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion. Let's paint you a picture first. I'm sure this looks familiar to many of you. I worked in analytics before, and I've also contributed to a pure business context. And I've personally felt these struggles. Whether you work in data or not, this is the reality of data work. And if you're lucky enough to not feel these feeling things, there's definitely someone in your organization, downstream or upstream, who bears these consequences. Data work is often messy, but it doesn't have to be. With BrightAgent, your teams turn the tangle of issues caused by dirty data into clarity. BrightAgent is the super data agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion, delivering actionable insights, consistent and governed access aligned to your business policies, and shared contacts that lets BrightAgent operate like a true teammate while strengthening the collaboration across the organization. And of course, we back it up with compliance you can trust. HIPAA, SOC 1, SOC 2, GDPR, and our latest, ISO 42001, one of the latest standards of AI compliance, only that fewer than 50 startups worldwide have earned, and BrightHive is proud to be one of them. So who are we? We are an agentic AI data management company empowering the upskill of everyone to work with complex data assets. We're proud of the bedrock that architecture that powers BrightAgent. It's part of our heritage as a company, and that's what sets BrightAgent apart from unsecure LLM wrappers and similar products fitting a consumer-shaped bag into a business-shaped hole. With this agentic foundation and structure that you see on the screen, BrightAgent brings ease, reliability, and speed to every stage of the data lifecycle, from ingestion and governance to retrieval, analytics, and visualization. BrightAgent is a super data agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion, delivering specialized workflows that turn data work into business outcomes. In short, you get the power of a full agentic team embedded within your organization. In the next few minutes, Haley will give you all a live demo and show you how BrightAgent turns complex and messy higher education data into immediate and actionable insights that drive student enrollment, retention, and student success. Haley will be working with the student demographics data, enrollment data, and admissions applications data. One key point that I want to note, which Haley will also show you, is that governance and data privacy are at the core of BrightHive. So BrightAgent operates only on the metadata and not your actual data. And it will automatically flag all personally identifiable information. So your data stays yours, securely governed end to end. And before handing it off to Haley for the live demo, I want to quickly touch on our big picture and enrollment and student success goals for today's session. We are going to show you how BrightAgent helps you achieve critical objectives. First, it will verify the quality of your data. Then it will tell you how to proactively address the student retention, how to optimize your student admission recruitment strategies, and how to enhance overall student success initiatives. Essentially, BrightAgent helps you transform complex data into clear, strategic insights for a thriving institution. All right, now I'll be handing it off to Haley, and who'll show you how it all works.
Thank you so much, Gehenna. Today, I'll walk you through how you can bring in data, govern your workspace, and get insights from your data within our BrightHive platform. To begin with, let's look at how you can bring in your data sets. If you're already using Data Warehouse, you can connect it in minutes. We support more than 600 plus connectors you can see here. So linking databases and analytics tools is straightforward. For example, you can type in Google Analytics, and after you finish filling out this simple form and click Submit, your assets will appear on the dashboard and you'll get the metadata constantly. If you want to work on your unstructured data assets, you can click on our data catalog And here we added some higher education data sets that we're going to use for our demo today. But you can have this centralized uniform platform where you can add all your assets and have your teams access through it and having a one source of truth. I'd like to show you about the governance part of our BrightHive platform. First, let me click on this data assets. So when you upload the data set, our BrightAgent automatically creates this description of the data set so that you can understand what this data entails. And also it automatically creates a schema. So you can understand the columns, data types, and if there's a PII information, it's gonna flag as PII. And if there's anything you wanna edit, you can click this edit button and change the field description or mark something as PII. Having this allows you to do your analysis confidently and accurately. Now I want to understand the glossary parts of our BrightAgent. So this is a shared space to align definitions that matter to your projects and your company. So these terms enhance user understandings amongst your team members, but not only that, it's going to help BrightAgent understand and refer to these definitions for further analysis. So you're training BrightAgent to use your company's language. Next, let's look at policies. Policies allow you to embed compliance standards within your workspace and attach the reference documents as needed. This is going to help your team and your company understand and adhere to the standards without referencing the legal documents every time you need it. Now, let's see BrightAgent in action. Our BrightAgent is a super agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion. So before diving further into the analysis, I like to first check the dataset quality by asking this question. Validate the higher education student demographics dataset. So this step typically takes under a minute for BrightAgent to profile the data. And this step streamlines what can otherwise take hours and is transparent reasoning offers visibility into how results are processed. So as you can see here, you can see the step-by-step BrightAgent's thought process and follow where it's going and where it's headed. Nice. So we can see from the part left, the overview of this data asset quality check results. So it's showing that it went through the 1,000 rows and 20 columns data set check. And overall, out of 53 data set checks, it passed 49, giving our 92.5% overall quality score. So it's looking great. And BrightAgent is even giving us next steps if we want to review the detailed one or if we want to improve our quality of the data set. And when you look at this bright side where we have more detailed information, you can understand the column names of our data assets and see what's flagging as warning from our data quality check. So in this quality status, you can see warning and it's phone, residency status, family income bracket that's showing the warning. For now, I think we're good to go on further analysis. As a next prompt, I like to ask this question. So it's a question a lot of enrollment teams and admissions teams are interested in. So from this prompt, we want to understand how gender, ethnicity, and first generation status is trending over time. This is going to help the admissions and enrollment teams identify underrepresented populations and determine where to refine our strategies to ensure students are successful on their higher education pathways. And now BrightAgent is working and it's soon going to ask me if I want to choose some of the data sets that's relevant for this specific query to be answered. Great. So it's showing the data assets BrightAgent thinks is relevant to answer this question. And if you want to look into the specific information, you can click on this and see what column names are included in this data set, what the data types are, and if there's any PII information. And if there is, it's going to flag as sensitive. For this question, I'm going to click demographics and applications.
And while BrightAgent is doing its magic, let me provide you with some additional context regarding this prompt. So based on our conversations with our current customers, most higher ed teams are tracking multi-year trends for enrollment planning, yield modeling, and student success. The challenge isn't access to data, it's stitching the sources, agreeing on definitions, and translating signals into actions. And as you'll see, BrightAgent shortens that entire process. Additionally, for things like definition and consistency, the glossary section, which you saw with Haley, keeps everyone aligned on terms like first generation, which reduces back and forth and conflicting reports. So what used to require ad hoc SQL, manual blending, and spreadsheet pivots is now a prompt and a guided workflow. Minutes instead of hours or days. And guess what? It's repeatable within minutes again. And BrightAgent builds confidence through transparency. As you can see, it shows you the reasoning, so you can trace how the insights were generated and reproduced. And as if Haley scrolls up, you'll see that it's saying that your prompt is going through 3 AI LLMs, basically ChatGPT, Claude, as you see on screen. So your prompt is being run 3 times to ensure accuracy. At BrightHive, we take pride in both speed and accuracy.
Thank you so much, Gehenna. So I'm just going to close the SQL code that BrightAgent used to generate this answer, but emphasize the result that it's given. So we're seeing the multi-year trends across ethnicity, and it's going to give us the exact numbers of ethnicity diversity in this question. And whether it's a data analysis, it's going to give us the trend and recommendations that I requested to get the insights out of this data. And it's showing that there's strong representation across major ethnic groups, indicating effective outreach and asking us to maintain those outreach as going forward. So not only that, it's giving us a targeted outreach information here and how we can make the data-driven decisions from this analysis of the ethnicity demographics data. So what I really like about BrightAgent is that it not only gives us the answer for the question, but it even suggests me the next step for like visualization, or if I want to dive deeper into a specific demographic category or segments of my data set. I like this answer, and I'll move on to the next question. As BrightHive suggested, I want to show you how the visualization works with our platform. So I'm asking to generate this line chart through the applications of each admissions channel over the years. And this question is relevant for the admissions team and especially for the marketing budget allocation, because it will let us identify which outreach methods are working and spot essential and potential issues before they impact our enrollment numbers. So it's a very important aspect that a lot of admissions teams would like to look into. And here, I specified the type of the chart to line chart, but if you don't have the specific chart in mind, I'm trying to approve this data set. You can just ask, visualize the number of student applications for each admissions channels over the years, and our BrightAgent will think through what type of chart will best explain the analysis of that prompt. So it could be either in pie chart, bar chart, histogram, scatter plot, name it. You can get everything into a chart, and BrightAgent will let you choose.
And I must add, as a former data analyst myself, I can confirm that this process would take hours or even days, because you can't just take a data set and say, oh, I'm going to start creating charts. You first need to validate the data, which Haley did in the first prompt, understand the data types, flag null values, remap terms, and so many more things. And just for the validation task, that you would need a day or so. And only then you can think about what you want to visualize or create a chart about. And then after that, you need to think about how you want to format that chart and how it should look. But what we love is that with BrightAgent, you don't have to worry about all this, and you can focus on strategies and bigger picture. You can ask it in plain English to visualize and will give you the results in minutes with a brief interpretation and possible next steps. It's so cool.
100%. And we believe that insights are sometimes best communicated visually. So I'm excited to see what BrightAgent is going to answer from this prompt.
And you'll see shortly how meeting ready or email ready, C-suite ready the chart would be with notes on the side. You can simply copy paste it and send it to your C-suite, and they will be so impressed by you.
Right. Great, let me make this right screen larger. So it's giving us this beautiful line chart of the questions on admissions channels. So the good thing about our BrightAgent is, as Gehenna mentioned, you can simply save this data chart and also share it with the people, and you can edit it in your GitHub directly. And you can also interact with the chart by hovering over these points, and you can get the exact data information of each piece. And back to this left side, it's going to give you key insights about the information and easy to understand explanation of the visualization, making interpretation straightforward and shareable with your teammates. Now, we have one more prompt left, which I'll ask the question that's really relevant with the institutional research teams. So which admissions channels yield the highest performing and most engaged students? This question, the answer, helps them connect recruitment channels directly to student success metrics like GPA and engagement score. And we believe that a lot of our higher education customers ask this question related to retention rate, and this insights will empower the institutional research teams to inform strategic decisions on budget allocation, program development, and enrollment forecasting as well. So we believe that getting the answers out of this question ultimately optimizes the student pathways from admission through the end of completion. All right, for this, I'm going to approve the admissions information, student GPA, engagement, dataset, and click submit.
While the magic is happening in the background, I just want to note that most higher educational institutions use only a fraction of their data because it's siloed. BrightAgent brings it together so we can invest in the channels that actually move GPA, engagement, and persistence. To be specific, less than 20% of available higher education data is actually used for decision making because it's locked in silos or inaccessible to most staff. BrightAgent closes that gap by working across sources with shared definition and governance. Additionally, across higher ed, teams are drowning in prep work. About 70% of institutional research staff time goes to gathering and cleaning data, not the actual analysis. That's why a simple question like which channel performs best can take weeks to answer across the engagement tools. And you might wonder, why does this matter now? It matters because with federal stimulus funding for higher education tapering down, every recruitment dollar has to work harder. Picking channels that yield students who persist and stay engaged is a direct lever on net tuition stability. And what's the risk of not doing this? Well, then institutions that can't integrate their data are twice as likely to miss early warning signs for at-risk students. So channel optimization is part of that early warning system, and BrightAgent makes sure you optimize well.
Thank you so much, Gehenna. And while Gehenna was sharing those important information, we got the answers here. So it's giving out the interesting conclusions and again, the next steps and recommendations below. And here we are seeing that out of all the channels, email campaign is showing the highest cumulative GPA and also the strong term of GPA, why it's positioned as the performance leader of these channels. So it's showing that email campaign, college fair, and referrals, a great way of communicating with the students. And It's also giving the recommendations that since college fair is the overall winner, understanding accounting for the accumulated GPA and engagement score, we should invest more on recruiting through college fair and follows the scaling the email campaigns and referral programs and high school visits. So it's giving us insightful next steps as for our higher education institutions. So in summary, we connected the data sources, applied governance automatically, validated the data quality, and used BrightAgent to translate natural language into analysis and visualization within a single workflow. With BrightAgent, you can have the faster time to value, consistent definitions, and compliance and clear actionable recommendations that support confident decision making. I'll now hand it back to Gehenna.
Thank you so much, Haley, for an insightful demo. Now, before we share an exciting gift with you, we'll jump into Q&A. I already see 3 questions in our Q&A box from before, while the demo was going on. But if there are any more questions, feel free to shoot them. It is 10:26, so I will try to answer as many questions as we can before we head into the last slide to share the gift with you. So the first question is, my issue. At our company, everyone knows we should document our data, but no one wants to do the work, so it never happens. Can BrightAgent help with that? The task of data documentation. Everyone dreads it. Well, yes, BrightAgent can help you with that. In the policy section that Haley showed you, we keep documentation there for all team members to see so that people know what to do. And you might wonder, but what if no one wants to start writing the policies? Well, we have AI prompting for policies too. You can work with LLMs to tell your teammates and your company what the data policies are. For example, how you should be naming variables, how you should store data. Everything can be kept in just one place. And if you have a new team member that joins, they simply go and look at the data policies and they're very well aware of what to do next. I think we have time for one more question before the next slide. So sorry to one of our attendees who will not get their question answered.
I'll get the next question answered. So our
Okay.
next question was, if we have our student data in our student information system, what will we need to do to get BrightAgent to be able to do what you're showing to give us enrollment and completion insights? That's a great question. And that's why higher education customers find us for help. So as I shared on the BrightAgent in the beginning, how we can add the data sources into our platform, there's where you can do this manual sync with the sources. So you can connect with your student information, which lives in platforms like Canvas, PowerFades, or Slate. You can connect to this BrightAgent platform once, and you'll get the updated database and tables for analysis. So by using BrightAgent, this question is fully covered.
Okay. I was typing out an answer so I can just say it out loud. We just got a question. What if we don't really have a data engineers on our team? Can we still use BrightAgent? Yes. BrightAgent is for the 97% of non-technical users. We take pride in the fact that you don't need any technical skills and specific engineers or coding skills to use BrightAgent. And if you're still in doubt how, just book a live demo with us or start our free trial and you'll see the magic happen. Right. In the interest of time, I just want to share the last slide with you all, which is our gift for you. To thank you for your time, we would like to give you a 10% discount with the code I showed up. You can use this discount code after your 7-day free trial with us and get a 10% discount off our annual license. And to access our free trial, simply visit our website at www.brighthive.io and start your free trial. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, Haley, or any of our engineering team or our CEO, CDO. Everyone's super warm and welcoming at BrightHive.
Thank you so much.